Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot and Astrology, and I'm here today to deliver your astrological transits for August 6th through the 12th, 2023 of course. And we'll be going through, there's so much going on that I can't even just talk about it right now. I'll just show you through the charts, but we will be going through the signs of the moon moving through Aries into Cancer. So anyway, let me swap out cameras here and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm trying things a little bit differently this week to see if it can go faster and be a little more efficient. My friend Jean let me know that the tarot cards, introducing those little bits here and there helped quite a bit. So let's try it. You guys let me know if you like it or not. Whether you like the tarot or not, these are the cards that correlate with the nodes. So, and this stellium here, plus I have some other cards. So let's look at the north and south nodes first, because this is the important gateway of evolution that we're all going through. So we're going towards the emperor type of energy. But also, we'd have to bring in the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands to really make it, make the point. Because we have this stellium of Aries energy. Now, the moon is connected today, too. At 5:46 a.m., the moon comes into contact, you can see right here, with Chiron exactly. So this is an opportunity to bring through your deeper gifts of leadership, your true authority, your connection to life, where you can take charge of, who you are and create stability, something very stable, very, very successful. And this North Node, of course, we have this transit happening through, it started July 17th, and it will last until January 11th, 2025. So we have quite some time. And then with the South Node, being in Libra, of course, that's our Justice card. And there we have, what's happening politically. I mean, we are having raining indictments coming down on the Mr. Crime himself, Donald John Trump. So, yeah, we can expect even more. And you guys saw that Aquarius full moon brought through his second federal indictment. When the moon opposed his natal Pluto, plus the full moon means that the sun was also joined up with his, conjunct his, well, here, hold on, I can show you real quick. See how we have the sun right here, conjunct his Pluto. Whenever we have a full moon, the sun, and this is, a little after because the full moon was in the morning, but you can see that the energy was building all day long, and it was just announced at 5 p.m., but it was happening. It had already happened. And of course, when we had that Capricorn moon conjunct Pluto, that was all cooking in his 6th house of service and health and daily details. Things are blowing up there. So, and that's just a little bit. I might do a whole reading on this if I can, because he has his arraignment today. So I do these readings on Thursday, the Thursday before. So this is Thursday, August 3rd. So anyway, but there's still information for the rest of the week in last week's reading, and I do have those timestamps in. But I thought bringing in the tarot would be helpful. So this is the energy. It's go for it energy, and this will be very intense today. Go for it. The world can be your oyster if you believe it, if you know your power, to impress who you are into the malleable substance of the universe. And the universe will mirror that back to you if you really own your power, if you truly know that if you have it inside of you, whatever you're trying to create and manifest, if you have it deeply ingrained inside of you, which takes time, it takes work, it takes a lot of, oops, I realized I didn't have the cards up here. I could see them, but you couldn't. It takes time. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of working through all the obstacles, pulling the weeds out of the false beliefs out of the subconscious and unconscious. Got to bring things up and out and keep going for what you want and just keep working that in your authority. And the mirror of the universe, will show you how well you're doing. Now, one of the tricky parts with that has to do with the fact that it's ingrained in every human being's mass consciousness to judge themselves harshly when things don't go exactly right. And what we have to remember is that we're here on Earth in this time-space continuum where things are slowed down. It takes time. We can't we'd like to be like it was in the spirit world. You think and feel and sense something that you want to do or be or experience, and shazam, it's there. Well, on one level here, because in the spirit world, of course, you couldn't even have a negative thought in the highest levels of the spiritual realm. Now, there's lots of layers of, in-betweens, but in the realm of which you were created, or you co-created yourself with, spirit, that realm is 100% complete love and bliss and power and peace and just everything. You can't even have a negative thought. But here on Earth, we certainly can. And we do have this time-space continuum, which helps to slow us down, helps to, because you have a negative thought. Well, you don't want that going out there. We're human. We have negative thoughts all the time. We don't want that being our mirror. So this is perfect right now to have the nodes in Aries and Libra, and to have this Libran mirror to help us, balance it out. It's like, oh, wait, I don't want to put that on my scale. I want to, I want to be clear. I want to be in truth, holding this big sword of truth, right? So, yeah. Okay, so let me move on. I'll move these cards. Well, no, actually, let me leave them there while I bring in these two cards up here to bring in the point of Pluto and Capricorn, because you can see. Oh, the other thing I forgot to tell you guys. The other thing is I ran the charts with the aspects being very tight rather than the wide, or actually I think I had it set at standard with all the wide orbs, and it. So now when we're looking at these charts, you'll see what's really happening today. And you'll see towards the end of the month that the Pluto squaring the nodes it drops out for a little bit. It goes, that will change. It will still be there, but it'll be waning, which is less powerful. It's the approaching aspects that are, so coming in, the aspects that are coming in to exact, let's say exactitude. Like, we can make up that word. Those are the ones that are the strongest. You feel it coming. It's like, when the full moon is happening, it's a couple days before, and you're like, oh God, I can feel it coming. And then when it's exactly full, there's that fever pitch point, and then it wanes after that. It's still powerful, but it's not as bad as when it's, like if you're a woman and you happen to be pregnant and you're swelling, all the months with the full moon, well, every month has a full moon, but all those months of experiencing the full moon are like, whoa. So anyway, Pluto in Capricorn, here's our Pluto card, here's our Capricorn card. Now, what has been happening over the last how many years with Pluto and Capricorn? I mean, Pluto began its journey in Capricorn in 2008. We're at that, we've been wobbling back and forth between that anaretic degree that is at that fever pitch point of something very powerful. Oh, and pardon me if you haven't noticed, but YouTube said I would get dinged if I didn't cover up the naked people in my tarot decks. So That was a job. I had to, you know. So anyway, um, yeah, the power that be, right? So we're dealing with, well, when the nodes were in Taurus and Scorpio, we were seeing all of the financial crimes. We were seeing all the sex scandals. Now they're going to court. Okay, with Aries and Libra, things will be going to court. And with the Judgment card here, these dark, dirty politicians have an opportunity to follow their true calling and come clean. Otherwise, their other choice is to hide in these boxes and go out the hard way. You know, the Judgment card, when it's straight up, has the deeper meaning of clarity and following your inner calling. And it's an opportunity for a brand new start, and it's major transformation. So they're getting transformation whether they like it or not. But I feel like we could read this in the reversed position, as in a lot of people are going to be feeling very, very regretful and have a lot of self-doubt as they go through the, jury trials that are going to be coming up. 2024 is going to be nothing but trials. And they may take years, right? We may be experiencing these jury trials when the nodes move into, because the nodes go backwards, move into Pisces and Virgo, and it can be very, very painful for some of those people, because that's a more of a challenging polarity to deal with. So anyway, and then of course with our Devil card here, we're dealing with people who have been blind, who've been very greedy, and have been abusive cheaters. So there's that. Okay, so let me go ahead and move these cards out of the way, and because I think you guys have that point there, I hope. And let's look at Neptune and Saturn over here. So the cards for Neptune and Saturn, of course, Neptune would be the Hanged Man. And in Pisces, it's further reinforced. And I'm going to bring in the our beautiful High Priestess to show the devotion to your spiritual path that Pisces can bring in for you. And then Saturn in Pisces, I'll just put it here in the center there. And say that this is the time, and especially with Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde, this is the time for all of us to walk away from anything that does not serve our higher purpose. That's the true meaning of the Eight of Cups. Okay, so, and we can see that this will be something that's very necessary. Hold on, maybe if I do this a little bit. There we go. Something that's very necessary because we have this in conjunct to the South Node. So if we want to be in that place of balance, we have to do our best to balance out our soul substance. And to do that, we each individually, because it's a very individual thing, we each have to go towards our spiritual path and devote ourselves in that direction. And your spiritual path will always be to shine your light. Here's the Sun in Leo. And then our lovely Venus card here. Shine your light, be in your joy, be in your happiness, be in your creative self-expression. And that brings through, these three cards. The Sun, and which rules, the Sun. So your solar essence, your joy, your happiness, your success, all of the positive things inside of you, your life force, literally, your vitality. And then with the Empress, it's our creative self-expression, and it's the abundance that never, ever, ever goes away. It's always there for us. It's always, holding space for us to nurture ourselves through some new creative experience. It's also a card of creating beauty It's also a card of being very well. It's a card of wellness, well-being, I guess is a better word. So imagine that. That's where we're headed. That's the Sun and retrograde Venus moving backwards. Now, she'll only make it back to 12 degrees. But so there, as the Sun keeps moving forward, ticking forward every day, Venus will conjunct. We are going to have a wonderful experience there next month. Okay, so let's see. With the strength card here, I wanted to bring that in just to reaffirm the Leo energy there. So the strength of your love, the strength of your core. And that brings through this aspect here with Venus over here. See how Venus is at 24? And we have this retrograde Eris, which is, she's our, that the cards that would go well with her as well. We had those already. This guy, except you have to, we don't have a feminine card for that much authority. There should be. I guess we could call it the Empress. I don't know what else to do with it. The tarot's a little bit limiting there. But then with all of our Aries cards here, that really brings home this stellium. So we have this beautiful opportunity here with the Empress card, and a nice flow of energy over to our Mars, feminine Mars counterpoint, which is Eris. And remember, Eris, she is our, like Pluto, a dwarf planet, but she takes twice as long to get around the zodiac. I mean, when I was born, Eris was at 8 degrees and conjunct my moon, no less. Yeah. So anyway, and now it's only at 25, and I'm pushing 70. So there's that. That shows you how long. So I would venture to guess that anyone listening probably has Eris in Aries, right? Just because I think it has to be that way. Okay, so we have today, and we'll see if it continues on. I'm pretty sure it will, because but I do have the tide orbs. But we had something on Saturday, probably Friday and Saturday of last week, that because we're starting this week out August 6th. So I'm venturing to guess that the 4th and the 5th had a very nice, had this nice flow as well. So what a great weekend, right? Now, with the moon in Aries today, of course, that's all those cards that I've already shown you. With Jupiter and Uranus here in Taurus, that does bring through, let's see, I remember which one I wanted to use for that. I wanted to use the Wheel of Fortune for Jupiter, right? Because we're always turning that wheel and making choices. And with it in Taurus, wow, fantastic. And then with Uranus, I want to use the Fool, because that's the card that's ruled by Uranus, and that's every new beginning we ever make, every new adventure we ever go on, every fresh start, every leap of faith we ever take. That's our Fool card. So yeah, the hero's journey. Okay, now with Jupiter today, at least, squaring the Sun. Yeah, it'll be even tomorrow when the Sun moves forward. We do have to be a little careful with excess. Jupiter in Taurus wants to expand slowly, wants to heal the body, wants to Well, unless we're overeating, it could be that because, Jupiter certainly rules yummy food. That is for sure. Uh, and then when it comes to squaring to Venus, I'm sorry, squaring the sun, there are lots of opportunities. Now, there's a spotlight on it in that with a fire movement energy, but it's fixed fire, right? And Taurus is also fixed earth. So there can be some stubbornness, like, I want what I want and I want it now kind of thing. And then later on, you're going, oh my God, what did I do? Right? So we do have to be careful there. But that's about the only caution that I really have, honestly. Other than that, it could be, oh, yeah, you know what, another way, especially with Venus retrograde, another way it could play out is spending too much money on something that you think you just have to have. So that's especially true when Venus is retrograde. You're going to want to be careful about your purchases. Check out. I made the mistake of buying a tarot deck that I didn't really like, and there's no there's no return. But I wouldn't have done that to the creator anyway. But because I realized that there were no refunds, I don't know that I would buy another deck on that website because. Unless although on this one I don't think there was a problem if there was a defect, but there were no defects. It was a great deck, just very specific to one thing. But I'll use it. So anyway, things like that. Check before you hit that, and that's the case too with so many of us with we're used to Amazon and their return policy, and you go on other websites and they don't have that. You buy it, you put it in your cart and you buy it, it's yours. That's it. Done. So yeah, okay, so now let's go to because for the aspects it's a little shorter here. Tighter. Now let's go to Mercury and Mars together now 6 degrees apart. It's not a real tight orb, but we do have this sesquisquare over here coming into, well, it's actually tighter to, they're pointing it to Eris, but I can see that it's been happening, or it's there with Chiron as well, so I'll combine the two. So when we have a sesquisquare, it's just a stubborn energy. It's not as strong as a square, but squares, they are challenges that once you work through them, they turn into a strength. They create a foundation of strength. Just think of like 4 squares, you've got a foundation, right? Like our Emperor card. Now, with Mercury and Mars in Virgo, though, there could be some stubborn energy that's just a little too much. In our cards for Virgo, we have let's do this, because I have everything going on this other side, I think, for a little bit. For Virgo, we have the Hermit, so we're going to want to look inward, but we're also, when you just look at the image, we can feel into the place of this could be, head down looking at details. And Virgo is really good for tracking patterns and analyzing and getting, really getting it done. And there's a lot of energy to do that. Now, this won't play out well for these, dirty politicians, but, that's going on. Now, we also have the magician that is ruled by Mercury. So that's why I brought this card in. Also, rules Gemini and Virgo. Right? Because Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. We also have Mercury in Virgo here with the Ten of Swords, and Mercury in Virgo here with the Ten of Pentacles. So this is not going to bode well for dirty politicians who have been cheating and lying and greedy. Right? But for the rest of us, look how well we can use this energy. We can use it to know that all the tools we need are inside of us. We just have to keep looking within and finding our inner light. Just keep going within to work on creating what it is that you're wanting to bring through, give birth to. And let go of the things, let go of the dark, little niggly, the self-judgments or any negative thought. Just, any negative thought. You can even ask your guides you can tell your body. I do that all the time, and it's like, ow, sometimes. I had made this pact with my body that if I'm having a negative thought, just give me a zap in the head or whatever. And I do. I'll have pains in one side of my head or the other for just a second, and then, oh, okay, stop. Or the ringing in one of my ears, usually my left ear. I also will have that if I need to sit up straighter or stand up straighter and get the stress off of my neck. So whatever pact you make with your body, you can do that if you want. I don't know if I totally recommend it, but you can do it. It works. Now, our Ten of Swords here. One thing that a dear friend years ago pointed out to me is like, notice here, I'll hold this up if I can get it to focus. Yeah, see the hands? It's like a little bit of a mudra, like when you meditate, right? Right there. So this could very well be the end of negative thoughts. It's like, it gets you down. Now, it could make for a good acupuncture appointment or session, too. So while Mercury and Mars are traveling together, the only thing you're going to have to watch out for is stubbornly wanting it now. You're going to have to learn patience and going within and trusting your guts and get out of that need to know something right now. Let it percolate. Also, let go of self-judgment. Definitely, that's what's going on there. Let go of, even it doesn't bode well for the body to sit in the negativity of the news and all of that. Very little of it is all that's necessary to get the information that you need. And I tend to prefer to get it by print lately, but it's kind of hard on my eyes with, screen time. But listening to it to get the pertinent information, there could be some boundaries that need to happen. We've got this like stubborn kind of forcing current here, wanting to know like what's going on. It keeps coming through. What's going on? But if we stay in that for too many hours a day, it's just not healthy, and our bodies will pay the price for it. And I think that's why we have Mercury and Virgo here, because we are literally tracking the details of the greedy, dirty politicians that is indicated here by Pluto squaring the nodes. But for us, it can be very powerful for manifesting, going in the direction you want, and bringing through. Now, that's another thing, too. I should have put, do I have it here? No. Where'd she go? Our Empress card. Let's do here she is. Venus rules Libra, too. So we could have these two cards together for that South Node, actually. I should have thought of that. So nurturing balance in your life. Okay? That'll take care of that Virgo energy. Okay, so then let's go ahead and covered everything. Yeah. We have a little semi-square going on with Saturn and the Moon. That requires action, and with the Aries Moon, I bet you guys will take it. I bet you will get some spiritual downloads, and remember that Eight of Cups, walking away, taking self-responsibility to walk away from things that don't work for you anymore. The Aries Moon will help you with that. Okay, so now let's go. Let me change. Oh, wait, I had a little note down here that at 7:25 p.m., the moon conjuncts the North Node. Okay, so this is 5:48 a.m., but later tonight, the moon will be here to the North Node and oppose that South Node. So that will bring the focus in to, do that creative balancing, nurturing your balance. So I think, honestly, it's probably, even though it's Sunday, it's probably a very active day, and then the evening can be a lot of fun and balancing things out. And then at 8:25 p.m., because the moon is going this way, it'll be right out here on the other side. It'll square Pluto until about 4 a.m. So I would say be careful about staying up too late on Sunday night. Yeah, and then by 11:25 p.m., the moon will move into Taurus. It'll be into Taurus here. And I'll show you those cards in just a second and show you the chart too. So there we go. 7:25 a.m. Let's see, why did I run it exactly at that time? Oh, because that brought in the sextile. I might in the future figure out how to do this on my iPad. I just have to get a different screen cover so that it's not so glary. I have to work through some things on that. But anyway, and then I could track the moon without, and I could save some paper, right? Save some trees. Goodness. So the moon sextile Saturn will bring through, now Taurus and Pisces energy are really lovely together. Of course, that's why we have the sextiles. Sextiles bring in opportunities. So there's an opportunity coming in Monday morning to create something beautiful that will serve your spirit, serve your, whatever you're mastering in your life. It could be something very, very creative. And it could also be, because the cards for the moon in Taurus is our Six of Pentacles. And that's a lovely energy to have for, let me move it over here. There you go. That's lovely energy for the morning. And you can take that and keep working with it all day. It's about giving and receiving are one. It has to do with, hold on. It has to do with balancing out. Sometimes you're receiving, sometimes you're giving, but it's all the same. It's an energy exchange that you can feel, and it's actually really nice. What else? With the moon in Taurus, you can see it's cooking its way to connect with Jupiter, and that makes for a very nice time as well. We still have Jupiter squaring the sun like we did yesterday, so we're still having to be careful about overeating, just having way too much fun, because the sun in Leo can be so much fun. Now, serious fun with Saturn and the moon connecting together in a nice way, but still, it could be, like too much outside and it's too hot and somebody gets sunburnt. Where's the aloe vera gel? I thought I had some, that kind of thing. So maybe these 2 days are to help us prepare for, getting through the rest of the summer. And if you're one of my dear ones in, the land down under, they're living in the future. They're ahead of us. I think these aspects are wonderful to have wintertime coming in. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else for today. So this would be our focus over here for the moon, the Six of Pentacles. So reciprocity, equality, things like that are all on the table for the day. And then we still have that sesquisquare going on, so that aspect is the same, but we've moved a little bit forward with Mercury, so now we have that semi-square to the south node. So there will be some details about the past coming through. Now, this could be legal issues for the dirty politicians, because it notice how it all hooks up right here. And then there's some stubborn digging into the details that I don't think Jack Smith is going to let go. I think he's going to be like a terrier that just, you know, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I could only imagine what he's feeling, especially all the trash talking that Trump has done about him and his wife, and Trump is not playing it well at all. So yeah, so let's go ahead and move forward. Just looks like a lovely day for you guys, though, honestly, but maybe a busy day. Now, Tuesday, it's August 8th. Now, I have the Lionsgate Peak here, and I don't know myself, honestly. I don't know if I totally believe in some portal that opens just because it's August 8th. And that's especially true. Oh, I'll leave this here. That's especially true. You know what else would be nice is the Jupiter card. There we go. And this one for Uranus. The reason I say that is if you add up the date, the numerology, it's a 5. So that's not an 8. Although I do know someone who was born August 8th, 1988, and he was just a wonderful guy. Or is a wonderful guy. Just haven't seen him in years. But anyway, if you're interested in that, then just go on YouTube. There are tons of videos, I'm sure, that will talk more about it. And but for me, well, you guys know me. I don't sensationalize things much. It's kind of nuts and bolts. But then, for me, it's like all about being on our spiritual path. So if there's some opening, a portal opening to get on your spiritual path today, go for it. Seriously. Okay, so the important thing that I want to look at, though, is the moon right in the center. So 5 a.m., the moon lined up right in the center of Jupiter and Uranus. So there is a lot of wonderful, opening energy. And we have, like we were talking about before, Jupiter still squaring the sun. But now we also have the moon over here squaring Venus. So, and you can see Venus and the sun are getting closer and closer together. Now, the issue is with the combination of all of that is that there will be more of an emotional wanting to quickly have, some breakthrough, some big opening. And Venus is over here retrograde asking us, well, what do you really want? What are your true values? And what makes you feel more love? If you feel more love in your heart for some, reason or another, that's a good thing. And so that would be a direction to go as long as, it's not hurting you in some other way. And usually it doesn't. It could be your love for your pets. It could be, and especially with all the Virgo energy, Virgo rules small pets. And Taurus is all about nurturing anything that's alive. I've known so many people with either the moon or the sun in Taurus or a stellium of planets in Taurus, and they absolutely are the best, caretakers for critters of any kind, especially, kitties and doggies. So just think in terms of this being a really lovely day for nurturing and yummy food, and but again, be careful about the shopping and overeating. That's my only warning there. Now we have these two sesquisquares here coming off of coming off of Mercury up to Pluto, and then over to Eris, over to the North Node. So again, there's some stubborn energy, stubborn thinking, but I feel like this is more of Jack Smith getting into the details and the DOJ getting into the details, but then again, this could be the stubborn lawyers that work for stubborn attorneys that work for Trump that are just lying. And, they're just trying to get out of whatever, trying to get him out of it. It's not going to work. Their defense is going in the wrong direction. They're trying to spin it into the First Amendment when that's not even what's on the table for the charges. So, but Basically, it's old Ku Klux Klan act that's going to get him. All right, so, but for you guys, as long as you're not stubbornly trying to hold on to control over someone else, you're going to be just fine. Hold on one second. I need to get some water. Okay, so I feel like taking a stand, if somebody's trying to control you or you catch yourself trying to control them, you can make a shift once you figure out what's going on. And with this, yeah, because you're tracking the details. Mercury, Mars, and Virgo is so good for tracking details, and they're getting closer and closer together. Then again, Mars is moving quickly too. Not as fast as Mercury, though. Now, with this little semi-square here to the south node, again, there's going to need to be some action taken in order to create some useful energy to balance things out for you this day. So, okay, so let's go ahead and go to Wednesday, and the moon's still in Taurus, so I'm going to leave these cards here because we do still have all these new the free will. Just remember, with the Wheel of Fortune, that has everything to do with, because Jupiter's and Uranus here holding very beautiful space for you to exercise your free will and create some new turning points, new trajectories, moving forward in a way that helps to bring some happiness through, right? This is all very happy energy. And with that moon at at 4 a.m., I clocked it with the moon with this nice trine up to Pluto. It can be very powerful. This can be a very powerful day for manifesting. So maybe it's a good day to get up early and get things going. And then especially with Jupiter with this nice trine over here to Mercury, it's going to be exact as soon as Mercury gets to 14 degrees there. And yeah, look at that. That's nice. So basically, translating, Jupiter trine Mercury will bring in some new ideas for making more money or having more abundance that is simple abundance. The only thing that really matters is that life is more simple. It's not about getting more toys that you have to take care of. And then you can see that we also have, with the moon, we have an inconjunct going back up here to the south node. So there's going to need to be an adjustment. If you want to stay balanced, there will be a little bit of an emotional adjustment, but it could be that it's just something on the feeling levels where it's like, oh, and you connect with it and it's no big deal, and you have all this wisdom in the past that, let me put, where's my, hold on. We need our justice card here again. There we go. Our justice card and our Empress. There. So if we can stay balanced, we can be more creative. Okay, bottom line there. Same thing with Neptune. If I were to bring through, that's the tricky part is... I guess if I had these all scanned in and I just flipped them in the computer and popped it over for you, yeah, I could. I mean, it's like I'm already doing so much with technology. Where's my, here we go. These two. To bring through the, and also the other one that would help would be our, this one. Okay, well... There's not really room. Maybe like this. If that works. There we go. Okay, so all of this energy over here relates to Saturn and Neptune and Pisces. And especially with Neptune here, the Hanged Man, so there's a surrender to look at things from this brand new perspective, and we have a connection to the past that helps us get into our creative self-expression and and then all this Leo energy to help with that as well. There's really a beautiful thing happening on Wednesday, August 9th, that will afford opportunities, but there'll be an adjustment that needs to be made on the creative levels, and it will help to tune into your higher self. That's why we have the High Priestess here, and take self-responsibility for the willingness to climb up that mountain if you need to, but trust your feelings and surrender into seeing things from a different perspective, and then that'll get you going, and you've got all the wisdom from the past to guide you, because you've done it many, many, many times already. Now, politically, this could all play out with because with the moon, and especially after crossing over Uranus, there could have been some big breakthrough that comes through Tuesday and Wednesday that brings some energy through to support the process, or it could be another indictment or something that comes down. You never know, or something, because all things point to the past, and we're trying to bring justice through, and yeah, and then you can see these little half of sextiles here. So these 30-degree aspects, all pointing to the north node. There's a little bit of an arrow here. We don't have a complete yod yet, 28, 27, yeah, it probably happened in the middle of the night. So, but anyway, all things point to the north node here in breaking new, frontiers for coming forward with this guy, somebody who's in his real authority. Maybe this will be our stand-in for Jack Smith, right? Or it could be if it were reversed, our stand-in for Trump being upside down, because all the greed and the abuse. Okay, so then later tonight, 6:06. I'm sorry, what am I saying? 28 degrees. 6:06 a.m. the moon moves into Gemini, and then that brings through our other. There we go. The Lover's card, making decisions when the moon's in Gemini, could also bring through our Magician. So let's go ahead and move forward with these 4 cards and see how it goes. Okay, so Thursday, oh my goodness. There we go. I should have left it on a clipboard, but I kind of needed the room. Okay, so anyway, Thursday, the moon's in Gemini, you can see. 9 a.m. I clocked it so that we could see this square that's approaching, working its way to Mercury. So there's a lot of information coming through and a lot of talking, and it's like, okay, I'm getting the details, but how do I integrate them? Because Virgo is all about integration and creating divine order. And then, with this energy that's still tracking either dirty politicians or judges, or I should say, or if it's just for you personally, if you don't, follow politics at all, then it would still be the need to hang in there and get all the details you can, because Gemini energy can be very, very good for helping us learn something new. Now, another way this could play out, especially if you have Mercury and Mars crossing over your natal Pluto, if you're one of our Pluto and Virgo generation, there's a lot of you out there, born in the 60s, and 60s and, all the 60s, late 50s even. So what that could play out with is a lot of overstimulation, and you might want to just be very careful so that you're not taking in too much energy. Now, the worst thing that a person could do with this, with that much energy though, or that stimulation, would be to avoid calming yourself down would be to avoid, you know how it is when you have wounding that's coming up. Sometimes we just don't want to go into it, and so we stay busy. So it could be busyness or distraction, and that turns into, spiritual bypassing, because we really want to go into whatever the anxiety is about and face our fears. And even if it's just a little bit, just to notice what something is about. What causes you to go into either fight, flight, or freeze? And if you're catching yourself in those places, then you're in your old trauma. And if you go into it with your presence and your breath and your love and open your heart and stay very, very present with yourself, you can shift that and do a little bit of healing. And it might only take 10 or 15 minutes or 5. It might only take 5 minutes. But you have to devote yourself to that healing work. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so picking up the moon in Gemini, with the magician and the lover's card, has everything to do with making those decisions. And again, it's about staying balanced, and so that you can be in your creative flow of abundance, most of all. Yeah, okay, so, and then we can see Mars has an inconjunct going on to Chiron here. See how it's 19 degrees? 19 degrees here. So there's, oh wow, that's actually what I was just talking about. Okay, that's weird. I wasn't looking at that, but now I am, and it's exactly, so any old trauma needs presence, and Mars in Virgo can help work it through by just being very, very grounded in your body. And Jupiter and Taurus will help you with that. Uranus will help you clear it out. Lots of breath. And yeah, so if you start feeling too or if you're feeling like you're disassociating, if you're too up in your head because there's too much information, just take those deep breaths. Just stop, take a pause. Take a pause. And Neptune with that inconjunct that's still going on there. That I think we have this for quite some time, because Neptune's retrograde through December 6th, and this inconjunct, this quincunx here, this lasts until December 7th. So again, with balancing out the soul substance and bringing through more justice and more just balance in your life, because balance is key to everything. And there's tons and tons of spiritual support with that. Okay, so, and then by 6 p.m., the moon, this square to Mars up here, let's see. Yeah, right now it's the square to Mercury. Man, so it's just going to be one of those days on Thursday. I think we're all going to have to be very careful about taking in too much information and thinking too much and trying to be too perfect. Let go of the perfect. Somebody, who was it? Was it Hilda? Yeah, I think it was Hilda. Yeah, I love my Hilda. She commented that she's good with making new mistakes. She doesn't even have to be perfect. She'll just make new mistakes and be happy. I love that. So by 6 p.m., this square hits Mars, so that there can be a lot of energy. You want to be careful with mental arguments with someone, or having a mental argument with yourself. I know what that's like. Okay, Friday, the moon's still in Gemini, so these cards still apply. We have a sextile from the moon over to Eris, so there's maybe some courageous thinking that comes through, or some forceful thinking, and it might not, it's going to be an opportunity, but for what? Because we've got fire and air together, that's a lot. You want to be careful with that. Again, same thing, same aspects we're having from Chiron to Mars, right? Yeah, no aspects going on yet between the Sun and Saturn, or Sun and Sun and Venus to Saturn, but you can see that they are getting closer and closer together, right? So the Sun conjunct Venus is going to be one of those beautiful things because it'll be like this, the Sun card and the Empress. So this is very, very, very wonderful time, and the Strength card. This is a very wonderful time for getting inside your creativity. Now, maybe if you're an artist or you're learning a new medium in your art or music or whatever, maybe this is a good time to spend money on your paints and brushes and tools and all of that. That would be a good way to use the energy. But with Venus retrograde in Leo, you might be finding some new hidden talents, but you'd still want to be careful when you're shopping, all right? And then I have my little notes down here, by 9 a.m., the moon, so the moon's here. By 9 a.m., we're going to have the moon will be over here, and it's going to be squaring Neptune. So this could be really, really, really beautiful for spiritual work and creative work, but it could also be kind of crappy if somebody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. We could expect to see, politicians lying, especially with Chiron in this little semi-square here to Saturn. They're just trying to bring through a new point of view to get out of self-responsibility, and it's going to be like wah, 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 wah. And then 3:53 p.m. the moon moves into Cancer, and then that brings through our Chariot card. And actually, hold on, I can do you one better there. Well, let me move to Saturday because that's where the moon will be in Cancer. But it begins about 4 p.m. So there we go. So this is Saturday. Now let's get to, I know what I want. Where are my cups here? There we go. I want Queen of Cups and our King of Cups. That's the best we can do with the Cancer energy. Now, the Page and the Knight are nothing to sneeze at either, but only have so much room for cards right now. Okay, so the Sun and Venus are really close together, only 1 degree. So there's a lot of energy. There's more energy towards Venus. Actually, I should be looking at these two again, right? And so think of lots of creative opportunities to shine your light. And even though there's no aspect to the moon, and I clocked it at 11:27 a.m. To get these other aspects. The important thing to remember is that the moon in Cancer can help you grow. It can help you create something new. It can help you feel more secure, some more inner security. It's internal though. It's kind of shy. Cancer and Capricorn energy are kind of shy. Unless they feel really comfortable, if you're with people that you love or people that you feel safe with, everything's fine. Or sometimes other aspects can bring them out that, doesn't have anything to do with Cancer. But if there's a lot of Cancer energy, it could be more of a shy type of a day, especially in the early morning and up to noontime. And, of course, we're later, next week we'll have the moon going through probably Leo, Virgo, and Libra. Those 3 signs probably. The moon moves about 2.5 days in one sign. Anyway, even though there's no aspect now with the moon in Cancer, just think of, so remember the moon is something that can connect to, it rules our digestion, our, tummy and chest area. Oh, that's something I should have told you guys. I'm sorry. With the moon in Aries, that rules our head. When the moon was in Taurus, that's our neck and our throat and our ears. Just think like ENT, areas. When the moon's in Gemini, it rules our lungs and our arms and our shoulders. And, the way we think and articulate and all of that too. I feel a little Gemini energy in the neck as well. And then with Cancer, it's pretty much our from the clavicle down, So, yeah. Yeah. And then with the Leo energy, that can be core third chakra energy. So it's one of those days. Right? And with the trine over to Chiron, there can be some really deep healing. There's that possibility, because look at 19 degrees 47. I clocked it exactly. I'm at 11:27 a.m. There can be some very deep. There's lots of fire energy, cardinal and fixed. So a great opportunity today for self-expression, creative self-expression, and feeling very comfortable in your skin. And self-confident, that would be the way. And then with the Cancer energy, it can help us come from our higher selves and move forward. If it's a travel, if it's like a traveling type of a weekend, it could be very, very fun, especially if you're going to visit family, because family is ruled by the moon and Cancer. And it could also be that something new with all this Aries energy over here, the stellium in Aries, it could very well be that something new comes out on the news. Maybe there's something fun to watch on TV, or some new series or something that comes out. Boy, we sure are missing everybody with the SAG-AFTRA strike, though, aren't we? Like, I so miss Stephen Colbert. And then, okay, so Saturday night, I have a little note down here. The moon it scooches over enough to where it's in an exact sextile to Chiron. So whatever healing energy comes up for the earlier part of the day, by later in the night, then we can emotionally integrate. And it might be that here's my hope is that with all the Cancer energy, that there's some love and fun and that place where you're just in the flow of your feelings, and you wind up going to sleep going, oh, this was such an awesome day. And at night you're integrating, how much love there is there, because if we have the moon sextiling Jupiter, there's that healing, and then we have all the integrative energies over here with the Virgo going on. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the week, you guys. Let me know how it goes for you, and as always, big hugs. Take good care. Bye.